few months ago, my friend Yoko and I went to a girl's house for a sleepover. I didn't know the girl very well. Her name was Emmy, and she was a friend of Yoko's. They went to the same school when they were kids. Emmy was a strange girl. She was very quiet and seldom said anything. Her parents went out for the night, and we were left alone in the house. We got changed into our pajamas and sat around trying to tell each other ghost stories. The problem was, we didn't know very many, and the few ones that we did know were kind of lame. All of a sudden, Emmy perked up. "I know a good website," she said. She opened up her laptop and clicked on one of the bookmarks. We gathered around her and looked at the website. It had a lot of scary stories from all over the world, including Japan. Emmy scrolled down the page while we stared into the screen. Yoko pointed to one of the stories. "What's this one?" she asked. For a moment, Emmy's face changed to a serious frown. "You're not supposed to read that one," she said. "It's dangerous." "This whole website is creepy," I said. "Is this supposed to be for kids?" "No," Emmy replied in a serious tone. "It's definitely not for kids. Some of the stories in games are really dangerous. Like this one." She clicked on the link for one story. It seemed really strange. There was a picture of a woman with long dark hair, but her face was disturbing. Made me sick to look at it. And the text below said the person who wrote the story is not human. "You're not supposed to listen to this story," said Amy. "So let's not listen," replied Yoko. "Yeah, let's just go to bed," I said. I had a strange feeling about this website. I mean, where did they get all these weird stories from? And why did they collect them together? Who would even make a site like this? There's something very unsettling about the whole thing. But Amy didn't take any notice of us. She pressed play on the video and we heard the start of the story. As soon as I heard that weird voice, it freaked me out. I put my hands over my ears and left the room, and Yoko followed after me. We waited in the bathroom until it was over. I can't remember what the story was about, but I do recall that it was very short. It seemed more like a poem than a story, but it didn't rhyme. When we came back in, Emmy had a strange look on her face. "See? Nothing happened," she said. Not long after that, we decided to go to bed, because we were very sleepy. Emmy got into her bed, and I lay down on the futon beside Yoko. We turned off the lights and went to bed. I always have trouble sleeping when I stay in someone else's house, and in the middle of the night, I was awoken by the strange sound of Emmy making small noises in her sleep. It sounded as if she was having a bad dream. I shook Yoko to wake her up. "Maybe Emmy shouldn't have read that story before going to bed," I mumbled. I tried going back to sleep, but Emmy's moans became louder. Then, she started talking in her sleep. "How did you find me?" she muttered. I nudged Yoko and we both lay there, staying really still and listening to her. "How did you know?" she muttered. I didn't know if she was talking in her sleep, but the tone of her voice was very clear. I turned to Yoko, wondering what the hell has happened. Yoko said, "Must be a weird nightmare." Just as she said that, Emmy suddenly got out of bed. The way she moved was jerky, like a puppet. When I saw that, a cold chill ran down my spine. Emmy had her back to us, and her head was hanging down. Her long black hair was covering her face. She just stood there, facing her bed, moaning softly. Slowly, very slowly, she began to turn around. Just then, Yoko flew into a panic. "That's not Emmy," she hissed. Emmy was still slowly turning. Yoko was staring at her, her eyes wide in fright. I didn't want to look, but I couldn't turn away. I was trembling uncontrollably. In the dim light, I could make out Emmy's face as she turned. It was her face, but somehow it also wasn't.